Yes, and maybe it could be uh, it is the only dress she have for these occasions.
Mm.
So she have to wear it on every other occasion because it's difficult to get another dress like this. And okay, my turn in character creation is over. So please.
I have an idea from taking from the slap. So I think there's this boy in her classes, and he really doesn't want to be there, so he's always disrupting, and he cheats, and he probably is always asking Katy to help him out, get him out of trouble, giving the right answers to tests, and probably she was so exasperated when the teacher accused her of cheating, and they were both thrown out of class.
Okay. I want to ask, is there any, I mean, romantic subtext between the two of us, the two?
No, it's just kid stuff, and she's just probably not, I don't know if the smartest, but she's good in class. So
Okay.
he's just trying to use her for getting a good grade.
Okay. Ron, did you have any questions?
Well, I think that I want to know what his status is. Is he is he sort of, all the kids in the class are of the gentry or the upper bourgeois. We know that. But the question is whether he is especially up there in that status, or is he a member of the general privilege?
I think his dad is a shopkeeper that just bought his title.
Right.
So he probably also gets teased.
Yes.
From the other proper noble kids.
Right. So he is completely nouveau riche.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So tell us, I guess, now about what kind of object this is, right? Or the toy.
Yes. So I'm the one that helps her process the consequences. So I think I am a little doll of a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Probably some relative bought it for me after the war or during the war if there was a hospital somewhere.
Right.
And my name is Sophia.
Okay. Are you writing, Alex? Okay.
So I guess what source of discomfort now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Could the source of the discomfort be the teacher punishing her?
Yes. Yes.
Because I think she really feels like it was not fair what happened to her, but because it's very important for her to be proper, she can't say anything, so she's very frustrated and she feels like the teacher isn't fair and listening to her.
Okay. I think the source of discordant should have the teacher's name.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have something in mind
Um,
from your childhood, of course?
no, I was actually lucky from most of the time. Anyone with names? I'm
Dunwich.
drawing a blank.
Dunwich.
Dunwich.
Dunwich. Even though that is a Lovecraft reference, but still, it does come from England's the actual name. So
Nice. Okay. And do you have already have some idea about Katy's helpless in front of Miss Dunwich?
Oh, she's a figure of authority, so. And Katy's just a little girl.
Okay, that's enough for me.
yeah, I wasn't expecting. I sort of saw that as a given. I think I was already there with that one. So
Yes. Okay, Ron,
all right.
it's your turn.
Well, here are my thoughts. After if you will forgive me for taking just a moment, I have, for no good reason, I have just created a mess of a bunch of dice in a kind of gamer compulsive way. So let me. Okay. So I have been writing while nobody was looking, and the prompt is the lady. Now, it is possible, conceivably, that we are talking about the new wife, but we are not. I have decided to expand the circle rather than close the circle. So this is another lady. And it is
Okay.
probably some kind of distant relation to her father. So she is part of the social and family scene without being so close as a first cousin or a sister or something like that. So I suppose if you wanted to know the exact genealogy, that you would have to draw a picture. But she's among the clan, right? Of the
Okay.
father. And so the grasp is how she behaves toward Katy, and she behaves very nicely toward Katy. She is always, treating her, calling her a little lady, and always going to give her a nice present for. Let's see, this is before people gave Christmas presents. Christmas present giving is a recent phenomenon. So it would be for the King's Day, after the King's Day in January. That's the day that people used to give presents. So on the Three Kings Day, whatever it is called, because we never heard of that in America, but
I think it's our Epiphania.
right, yeah, Epiphany. It's Epiphany in the
yeah.
States, in Sweden as well, but
Okay.
Americans have never heard of it. Never.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I think my father used to celebrate on the 6th rather than Christmas.
Exactly. So we have she gets a present on Epiphany, and this lady is the one who she can rely upon always to give her something. However, in terms of the origin, this lady who was speaking out loud in public when she did not think Katy was listening is where Katy first learns the word bastard. In reference to herself as well as its meaning.
Okay.
So then the toy itself, I don't know how legitimate this is, but this is an object that Katy does not play with openly, or is not really known to, not really acknowledged as hers, but she thinks it is hers, and she has been known to take it down from its shelf when nobody is looking sometimes, but she always has to put it back carefully before someone notices, because it is an old figurine of a soldier from the Napoleonic Wars, with which is obsolete. You know, this was almost a century ago, so it's not a uniform or a regiment or anything like that that exists now. And it is probably the last of an old set, which is now just an ornament, just something that the father puts on the shelf. So it's like you would, there's a bookshelf and this thing stands on this part of the bookshelf. Nobody thinks twice about it except for Katy, of course.
Yeah.
Right. So that is, and its name, somebody said something about the Napoleonic Wars when she was listening, but she was little and she has no idea that it's not really, had no idea what it meant, so she just calls him Nappy,
Oh,
even though he fought
Okay.
against Napoleon technically, but never mind all that crap.
yes, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is Nappy an officer? I don't know is the right word in English. I
No,
mean,
that
is
is correct. That is
or,
correct.
or
Yeah, he is.
okay.
He is a. No, he is the fellow who holds the little flag.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Right. He is the standard bearer in English.
Yes, yes.
Mhm. And that man was usually an enlisted man or a foot soldier, not an officer.
Yes. Okay. What's the lady's name?
Ooh, that is a good question. Hmm.
We could go with something like Haunty Sylvie, because the title is not important. It's how Katy calls her.
Yes, but I'm trying to stay away from Italian names like Claudia, Lydia, and Sylvia.
Ah, okay.
I'm trying to be English. Okay. So I'm going to, I had already run through my Latinized Italian, aristocratic names, and realized that I
Yeah.
was being seduced by my role playing partners. And so I'm going to instead, she is going to be Auntie Claire.
I guess Katy is blessing in front of her because it's so nice.
Right, maybe even kind of likes, the nice attention and things like that. So it's hard to reconcile this word used in reference to her, and it's a difficult moment to process the way that
Okay.
somebody presents herself to you and has a relationship to you, and then what they say to other people about you.
Okay. So, last part of the setup, we are talking about the tea party. We have some prompters on some question. We can answer one of those questions each
Hmm.
and then move on. So our tea party setup is a white lacquered pierwood table with smart coordinated chairs, adorned with brocade cushions and a tablecloth. And we have a selection of questions that we can choose from, and we can give some color to the scenario, basically, to the tea party, basically. And Of course, Tea Party and Game World are part of the same memory and the same fantasy. So the element from another are meant to interpret and contaminate.